Amid the bright lights of the modern city, there exists another China, silent, ancient, and mysterious. Hidden deep in the soil and behind moss-covered walls and dark caves, there are stories that have never been written down, only carved out of faith, stone, and time. This is a place where the past has never slept. It only waits for someone curious enough to listen to its whispers from thousands of years ago. On the rugged mountains of the north, the Great Wall rises like a great stone dragon, winding through time and space. More than 13,000 miles long, it is not just a defensive wall, but a living symbol of the will and sacrifice of millions of people. Built in the 7th century BC and spanning through the dynasties, especially the Qin and Ming dynasties, the wall is over 7 meters high, about 9 meters wide, and is connected by thousands of watchtowers where fires were lit to signal the battle. In the wind blowing on the top of the wall, people still tell the story of Meng Jiangnu, who cried for her husband to the point that a section of the wall collapsed, a sad legend about love and the blood of the people. Today, this relic attracts millions of tourists, not only because of its grandeur, but also because of the overwhelming feeling when standing among the silent stones that have witnessed the ups and downs of history. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, the Great Wall reminds us that there are structures built not only with earth and stone, but also with faith and tears. If the Great Wall is a majestic testament to human hands, then Zhangjiajie is a beautiful symphony that nature has painstakingly carved over millions of years. Located in Hunan province, this place seems to come out of a surreal world, with more than 3,000 sandstone pillars rising straight up to the sky, like eternal towers carved by wind, rain, and time. In the misty fog, each stone pillar appears and disappears, like the shape of ancient gods or immortal beasts. The locals believe that this is where the mountain gods reside, where each peak is the soul of an immortal fairy. Science may call it vertical erosion, but our hearts cannot be indifferent to that supernatural beauty. In the misty fog, each stone pillar appears and disappears, like the shape of ancient gods or immortal beasts. The locals believe that this is where the mountain gods reside, where each peak is the soul of an immortal fairy. Science may call it vertical erosion, but our hearts cannot be indifferent to that supernatural beauty. Away from the surrealism of Zhangjiajie, we encounter another deep and melancholy mystery. The Guyaju Caves, a strange group of caves quietly nestled on a cliff over 100 meters high on the outskirts of Beijing. More than 170 caves are carved deep into the limestone mountains, connected by corridors, windows, skylights, and water channels, all creating an architecture that is both practical and mysterious. There are no religious reliefs, no inscriptions, and even less clear explanations. Who lived here? Why did they choose these steep cliffs as their homes? Some say it was a shelter for people fleeing war. Others believe it was a fortress to observe the sky. In the cold wind that swirls around each stone corridor, one cannot help but shiver at the silence that has lasted for millennia. The hand-hewn walls are still smooth, as if the owner had just left. Guyaju is more than a relic. It is a silent message from the past, waiting to be heard with the heart rather than the mind. The journey continues to one of the world's greatest archaeological wonders, the Terracotta Army, an immortal terracotta army, deep underground in Xi'an. More than 8,000 warriors, horses, and chariots are neatly arranged, silently guarding the tomb of Qin Shi Huang for more than 2,000 years. Each statue has its own face, so lifelike that it seems as if each person has his or her own soul and story. When modern light touches the 1,000-year-old dust, the brilliant paint covering the statues quickly disappears, a fleeting miracle that leaves a heart-wrenching feeling of regret. The real weapons buried with them still retain their sharpness thanks to an inexplicable advanced anti-rust technique. Moreover, the high mercury readings underground evoke legends of rivers of mercury flowing through the heavenly world that Qin Shi Huang desired. Terracotta Army is a place where the past breathes earth and stone, where power, art, and an obsession with immortality blend together in the majestic silence of history. Crossing the plains of Shaanxi, following the steep Rocky Mountains, we reach a structure that even time must be wary of. The Hanging Temple, a temple suspended between cliffs, like a sacred dream clinging to the sky. Built more than 1,400 years ago on a cliff nearly 250 foot high, The temple seems to defy all laws of physics when it is only supported by more than 30 small wooden pillars, deeply embedded in the mountain rocks. Without using iron nails, the entire architecture is connected by wooden joints, incredibly solid. The narrow corridors are only about 30 centimeters wide, suspended in the sky, making every step thrilling as if walking on a thread of the past. Most unique, this is a rare place in ancient China, where Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism coexist, breathing together in a sacred space. The Hanging Temple is more than just an architectural marvel. It is a prayer incarnated, suspended between earth and sky, between humans and the divine. Journeying through the wildlands of the West, we come across Jiaohe Ruins, the remains of a unique ancient city located on a teardrop-shaped plateau, protected on three sides by deep valleys like natural moats. With no solid walls, no stones or baked bricks, the entire structure is made of rammed earth, yet it still stands after more than 600 years of abandonment. What is strange is the way this city is planned. From the streets, residential areas to temples, all are arranged along the north-south axis, reminiscent of modern urban thinking. In the dry, hot wind blowing through the collapsed earthen walls, one can still feel the breath of a once glorious and organized civilization. The ancients said that this place was chosen by the gods to protect the frontier, and that ancestral rites were performed amid the silent sounds of the desert. Jiaohe is more than just a ruin. It is the petrified memory of a city that once had a soul, still whispering from the other side of history. Leaving the desert ruins of Jiaohe, one wanders into the misty mountains of Fujian, where the rounded, silent structures of ancient planets nestled in the green forest hide, Fujian Tulou. The earthen castles are up to 60 feet high and more than 200 feet wide, built of rammed earth, bamboo, wood, and stone, combined into a closed structure as sturdy as a fortress, but as cozy as a large family home. What makes Tulou special is not just their round shape or their centuries-long durability, but the way they encapsulate a harmonious community within. Without modern blueprints, without a single steel nail, each Tulou still exists in a humid climate, withstanding storms and time. It is believed that these circles have spiritual meanings: protection, connection, longevity. Although the history of many of them remains a mystery, Tulou are living symbols of a sustainable social model, where architecture and life are one in harmony with nature and tradition. Have you ever wondered why these wonders can defy time, standing firm for millennia? If it is the ancient mystery, the unimaginable constructions, and the stories buried in the dust of history that make your heart flutter, click. Register now to explore the mysterious world hidden behind every stone, every wall of ancient civilizations. Passing through low hills and quiet alluvial fields, we stop at a place believed to be the birthplace of Chinese civilization, Erlitou Site. Located on fertile land crisscrossed by rivers, this site is believed to be the first capital of the legendary Xia dynasty, the dynasty that ushered in China's more than 4,000-year history. Here, people have discovered the foundations of palaces, streets, residential areas, workshops, and especially the largest bronze smelting area of the early Bronze Age. Exquisitely carved jade pieces, colored ceramics, and stoneware reveal a highly developed, orderly society. Erlitou appears like a shadowy shadow of the past, brilliant, talented, and then disappeared without a trace, leaving behind it the haunting question of a civilization that once shone brightly and then fell silent into history. From the quiet splendor of Erlitou, we continue to follow the ancient Buddhist footsteps to Longmen Grottoes, a group of limestone caves carved with more than 100,000 Buddha statues, hidden along the banks of the Yi River, like a Buddhist scripture petrified for more than 1,000 years. The statues with gentle eyes, wonderful smiles, every line of sleeves, skirt folds, all are meticulously carved in the hard rock. From small Buddha statues of just a few centimeters to giant statues over 56 feet tall, this place reflects both the sophistication of the artisans and the deep beliefs of ancient people. The fusion of Indian art and Chinese spirit makes every step through Longmen a touch of the ancient East Asian soul. Although once ravaged by war, those caves still stand there silently telling the story of faith, enlightenment, and the desire to imprint spirituality into the eternity of stone. Longmen is not just art, but also the thousand-year-old echo of people searching for the sacred in the mortal world. From the majesty of the Buddha statues carved into the stone at Longmen, we step into the high mountains covered in clouds to find a legendary mausoleum, Qianling Mausoleum, the eternal resting place of the only queen in Chinese history, Wu Zetian, and Emperor Gaozong of Tang. The mausoleum lies deep in the mountains, built more than 1,300 years ago, and has never been excavated. In front of the tomb, a strange stone stele has no inscriptions, a silence that defies all explanations, evoking a feeling of both awe and eerie mystery. The construction of this massive structure at an altitude of more than 3,400 feet, without using cement or steel, still amazes modern archaeologists. Qianling is more than just a mausoleum. It is a silent declaration of power, immortality, and a dynasty that shook Chinese history. Continuing our journey from the poetic canals of Fujian, we head to central China and reach a proud ancient city that has remained intact for centuries. Pingyao Ancient City, where time seems to be sealed in every stone and moss-covered roof. With a wall nearly 3 miles long, over 40 feet high, built during the Ming Dynasty, Pingyao is not only a defensive fortress but also a vibrant city with a sophisticated planning according to the feng shui of a turtle. The main gate is the head, the 4 side gates are the legs, and the back gate is the tail, a symbol of longevity and protection. Walking on the cobblestone streets, silently looking at the curved-roofed wooden houses, we feel like we are walking through a thin layer of history, where memories still whisper through every narrow crack in the door. Although the world outside changes every day, Pingyao still stands quietly there, a living testament to the endurance of the ancient order, of the belief in the harmony between humans and the universe. Leaving behind the solid walls of Pingyao, we follow the jade rivers of Sichuan to encounter an ancient miracle that has made the modern world bow in admiration. Dujiangyan, a more than 2,000-year-old irrigation system that is still operating, without dams or machinery, but still regulates water and prevents floods with astonishing efficiency. Built in the 3rd century BC by Li Bing and his son, the project divided the river into 3 parts: cutting water, dividing water, leading water, thanks to the mountainous terrain and the technique of arranging stones, bamboo, and sand with precision down to every detail. To this day, this land is still lush and fertile, like a blessing from ancestors to their descendants. The people of Sichuan worship Li Bing as a river god, and indeed, Dujiangyan is not just an engineering project, but an immortal song about the harmony between humans and nature. Standing in the cool water, we suddenly understand that there are geniuses who do not need noise, just a never-ending flow. Leaving the peace and sacredness of Lugu Lake, we continue our journey to another lake that is equally deep and mysterious, Fuxian Lake, where the lake's surface is as blue as enamel and the lake bed hides unanswered questions. Located at an altitude of more than 5,600 foot and nearly 500 foot deep, Fuxian is one of the deepest freshwater lakes in China, vast as a miniature ocean in the middle of the mainland. However, what makes this place legendary lies beneath its calm waters. Not long ago, divers discovered a giant architectural structure sunk 130 foot deep at the bottom of the lake, with steps, stone foundations, and strange symbols arranged from large rocks without mortar. Some of the symbols are said to resemble unidentified hieroglyphs. Locals still say that this place used to be a kingdom that sank after a catastrophic event. Every night, people see mysterious lights emanating from the lake. Fuxian Lake is not only a scenic spot, but also a door that opens up to things that both science and legend are still secretly searching for. Leaving the bustling and colorful streets of Recife, the journey takes us to the northeast of Brazil, home to one of the most surreal landscapes on the planet, Lençóis Maranhenses National Park. Unlike anywhere else, this land stretches with silky white sand dunes, rippling in the wind like endless natural curtains. But what makes this place magical is the thousands of clear blue lakes that appear in the middle of the desert, formed by summer rain and held in place by the impermeable rock underneath. In the middle of a hot afternoon, immersing yourself in a turquoise lake nestled between two white sand dunes, it is an almost metaphysical experience, both relaxing and enchanting. Especially at Lagoa Bonita or Lagoa Azul, the sunlight reflects on the water, making it sparkle like jade. Lençóis Maranhenses is a reminder that nature has a way of surpassing human imagination, a picture both gentle and majestic that you will never forget. From the soft white sand dunes and crystal clear lakes of Lençóis Maranhenses, we enter the densest and most mysterious land on the planet, the Amazon, the giant green lung of the earth. Covering most of Brazil, the Amazon rainforest is a place where life is fiercely awakened in every bird call, every ray of sunlight filtering through the canopy, every deep black river winding through the vastness. This is not only home to thousands of rare species of plants and animals, but also a world where humans seem to be just visitors. The moment you spot a pink dolphin peeking out of the Solimões River, or your eyes meet the gaze of a jaguar lurking in the trees, you will understand why this place is both enchanting and terrifying. Boats drifting through flooded forests, hiking on suspension bridges amid towering treetops. Every step in the Amazon is an exploration not only of nature, but also of the limits of the explorer's heart. If the Amazon is a wild symphony echoing in the middle of the jungle, the Pantanal, the world's largest wetland, is a vivid ecological picture, where every detail is clearly visible before your eyes. From the dense forest of the Amazon, we step into the vast open space of the Pantanal, where grasslands, swamps, and endless streams invite the traveler's eyes. During the rainy season, this land turns into a giant water maze, but when the water recedes, all life gathers. Hundreds of colorful bird species, herds of capybara lazing on the riverbanks, and especially the mysterious jaguar, easier to see than anywhere else in the world. Sitting on a small boat gliding across the calm Aquidauana River, you can suddenly witness a giant otter hunting or a toucan spreading its wings in the red afternoon sky. The Pantanal doesn't need to scream to impress. It's the wild serenity that makes our hearts stop, then burst into wonder and gratitude. Say goodbye to the passionate rhythm and vibrant past of Salvador and head south to Belo Horizonte, a hidden gem among the rolling hills and deep green forests of Minas Gerais state. This city is not as flashy as Rio, nor as nostalgic as Paraty, but it possesses a quiet beauty full of depth. Here, you will feel the gentle pace of life, where people smile friendly and art is infused in every detail of daily life. A highlight that cannot be missed is the modern architectural complex Pampulha, a masterpiece designed by Oscar Niemeyer, where the São Francisco de Assis Church rises above the lake like a visual poem. Bold, curved domes, soothing blue tiles, and the calm lake reflecting it all. Belo Horizonte is a love song, not ostentatious, not noisy, but quietly reminiscent, making anyone who has set foot here want to return, just to breathe in that peaceful and genuine atmosphere once more. From the modern serenity of Belo Horizonte, the journey takes us gently sliding southeast to Paraty, a small town that seems to have been carved from time. Nestled between the tropical rainforest and the sparkling ocean, Paraty is a place where the past is not far away, but still alive in every paving stone, every brightly painted door, every moss-covered tiled roof. Stepping into the old town is like entering a world without tangled wires, without modern streetlights, only gently sloping streets that the tidal waves can wash clean every day, like a secret ritual between land and water. But Paraty is not just for the nostalgic. Just a short boat ride out into the bay, you will be greeted by unspoiled islands, deserted beaches, and crystal-clear waters. Paraty is a place where history, nature, and tranquility come together in a rhythm of its own, gentle, sparkling, and enchanting, making you never want to leave. From the gentle antiquity of Paraty, we head north, where nature and people together create a great epic called Rio de Janeiro. This city is not just a place name, but a living symbol of Brazil, where every curve of the terrain, every rhythm of life is full of energy. From the first moment you look up at the statue of Christ, the Redeemer, with open arms on top of Corcovado, your heart stops beating, not only because of the magnificence of the structure, but because of the feeling of being embraced in a tolerant embrace. At the foot of the mountain, beaches like Copacabana or Ipanema beckon with the sound of waves, the sound of volleyball, and the cheerful smiles of the people. The cable car takes you to the top of Sugarloaf Mountain, where the sunset dyes the whole city into a brilliant golden sea. And then at night, Rio wakes up once again in the lights, in the samba rhythm, in the breath of carnival that never stops. Rio de Janeiro is not just for sightseeing, it is for immersion, for living to the fullest, as Brazilians do every day. While the sounds of samba and the waves of Rio still echo in our minds, the journey takes us south, to São Paulo, the relentlessly beating heart of modern Brazil. If Rio is about spontaneous emotions, then São Paulo is about depth of thought, a whirlwind of creativity and opportunity. This city never sleeps, never slows down, from the brightly lit Paulista Avenue, where skyscrapers stand shoulder to shoulder, to the lush green Ibirapuera Park, where people pause to breathe and feel. São Paulo is a cultural hub, where museums like MASP and MAM not only preserve art, but also inspire millions. In the middle of a city filled with concrete, the São Paulo Cathedral appears as an ancient silence, making us stop in our tracks. Here, every street is a multi-ethnic conversation. Every person is a story. São Paulo does not need to attract you with its fairy tale beauty, but with its authentic, fierce, and unexpectedly attractive energy. São Paulo overwhelms you with its bustling pace of life and surging energy, while Curitiba, in the more peaceful south, welcomes you with a wonderful balance between modernity and nature. As the capital of the state of Paraná, Curitiba is not traditionally flashy, but it is admired for its sustainable vision and spirit of constant innovation. Parks like Barigui or Tanguá are not only green spaces, but also places where people and nature meet, where you can see capybaras relaxing by the lake, or stroll through a stone tunnel connecting two cliffs that has been converted into a park. But the real masterpiece is the Ópera de Arame, a steel and glass structure floating on the lake, as light as if floating in space. As soon as you step over the glass bridge leading to the theater, your heart will be quiet because of the fragile yet powerful beauty of the architecture blending with nature. Curitiba does not need to show off, because that quiet harmony is already a proud declaration. Imagine a place where turquoise oceans lap at pristine golden sands, dolphins dance in the sun, and sea turtles nest quietly in the middle of the night. That's Fernando de Noronha, an oceanic paradise, located about 220 kilometers off the northeastern coast of Brazil. Not only is it stunningly beautiful, it's also sacred because it's restricted. Only 500 visitors are allowed to set foot on the island each day, as a way to protect its untouched wonders. The sea here is so clear you can see schools of tropical fish and stingrays swimming by your feet. But the real stars are the spinner dolphins, spinning in mid-air as if performing for you. The most enchanting stop is Praia do Atalaia, where the natural pool in the volcanic rock appears like a living aquarium. Every moment in Fernando de Noronha makes you want to take a deep breath, to keep in your heart the feeling of incomparable primordialness. Saying goodbye to the pristine tranquility of Fernando de Noronha, we come to Recife, where the vibrant pace of life blends with the vibrant culture and vivid history. Dubbed the Venice of Brazil, with its canal system and graceful bridges, Recife opens up a space that is both modern and full of nostalgia. Boa Viagem Beach stretches with shimmering golden sand and natural coral reefs, an ideal place to stroll, watch the sunset, or enjoy street food with a tropical flavor. But the true soul of Recife lies in the old town of Recife Antigo, where time seems to stop between the buildings with ancient Dutch architecture, colorful streets and samba melodies echoing through every window. Especially if you come during the carnival season, you will be caught up in a grand street party with passionate frevo dancing and colors bursting everywhere. Recife not only opens your eyes, but also makes your heart beat to the beat of the festival drums. Leaving the enchanting tranquility of the Pantanal, the journey takes us to a place where nature no longer whispers, but screams with all its might, the Iguazu Falls. Located on the border of Brazil and Argentina, Iguazu is not one waterfall, but 275 rushing falls, stretching nearly 3 kilometers, pouring down from a height of 80 meters. The sound of water roars endlessly. The steam rises to create brilliant rainbows, like a miracle in the middle of the green rainforest. And then, in the thin mist, you can see toucans soaring, curious monkeys appearing on the roadside. Nature is not only majestic, but also alive, strangely close. For those who have ever doubted the greatness of the world, Iguazu is a resounding answer. There are places that need no introduction. You just have to stand there and feel it. After the roaring sounds and brilliant rainbows of Iguazu Falls, we head to the heart of the country, where nature retreats to make way for the bold imagination of man, Brasilia. This modern capital was not formed by nature, but was drawn like a dream, a city designed from scratch, completed in just 4 years in the heart of the arid plateau. Seen from above, Brasilia has the shape of an airplane, a symbol of progress and vision. Oscar Niemeyer's buildings, like the Brasilia Cathedral with its domes that seem to reach into the sky, or the Plaza de las Tres Powers with its towering government buildings, are not only stunning, but also evocative. It's like stepping into another century, where everything is designed to inspire. But amidst the bold concrete, Brasilia maintains harmony. Lake Paranoa stretches out peacefully, greenery covers the landscape, and the Juscelino Kubitschek Bridge glides like a strip of steel through nature. A city dream, and it has come to life. From the bold modernity of Brasilia, the capital built by reason and vision, the journey continues to take us back to a place shaped by memories, emotions, and national identity: Salvador. Nestled on the northeastern coast of Brazil, Salvador is not as noisy as São Paulo, nor as modern as Brasilia, but has a strange attraction, like a call from the past. Here, Every street corner in the Pelourinho area is tinged with time. Every brightly painted window tells the story of people with African blood, of colonial memories and resistance. Standing on the Elevador Lacerda, looking down at the Todos os Santos Bay stretching out in the sun, you will feel Salvador like a tropical dream mixed with sadness and vitality. When the sun sets behind the Farol da Barra lighthouse, the city wakes up again in the rhythm of drums and capoeira dance. Salvador is not just a place to visit, it is a place to feel with your heart. From the gentle green spaces and elegant architecture of Curitiba, we return to Brasilia, the capital of vision and symbol. In the middle of the calm waters of Lake Paranoa, the Juscelino Kubitschek Bridge appears like a strip of steel silk across the sky. 3 delicate white arches forming a graceful curve, like an inspiring sketch between nature and engineering. Crossing that bridge, you are not just crossing a distance, but stepping across the boundary between dreams and reality. When the sun sets, the orange-yellow light reflects on the lake, turning the bridge into a brilliant halo in the afternoon shadows. At night, the shimmering lights along the bridge piers create a magical scene, like an endless flow of light in the middle of the modern city. The bridge not only honors the president with the vision of building the capital from scratch, but is also a symbol of the desire to connect between people, between the present and the future. From the soaring modernity of the Juscelino Kubitschek Bridge, we are once again led back to the past, to the historical heart of Salvador, the Pelourinho neighborhood. Like a living museum in the heart of the city, Pelourinho is not just a collection of colorful houses or winding cobblestone streets, but a place where memories still whisper in every wall, every step. This was once the center of the slave trade in colonial Brazil, where imprisoned lives painfully fought for freedom. And now, this very place has become a symbol of vitality and rebirth. Music rises from every alley, the drums of street bands. Capoeira dances like prayers to erase the darkness of history. When you stand on an old balcony, looking down on the sunny square, you are not just seeing a tourist attraction. You are standing in the middle of a Brazilian soul, where sorrow has blossomed into a cultural identity, brilliant and immortal. From the streets full of memories and music of Pelourinho, your steps take you to the sea, where the Farol da Barra lighthouse stands tall in the middle of the cape, silently observing the ups and downs of Salvador for centuries. Built in the 17th century, this is one of the oldest lighthouses in the Americas, not only guiding ships, but also illuminating the memories of the entire city. When the sun gradually disappears behind the horizon, the first light comes not from electric lights, but from Farol da Barra itself, shining on the waves lapping at the rocks, on the faces sitting on the grass watching the sunset. There is something very special about this place. A quiet, but not sad. Like a gatekeeper of time between the ocean and the mainland. And when the night falls, this place is not quieter, but comes alive with the soft music coming from the beachside restaurant, the laughter, the wind, creating a Salvador that is both nostalgic, modern, and forever unchanged. From the gentle lights of Farol de Barra, where historical memories still echo along the Salvadoran night sea, the journey takes us to one of Brazil's most sacred and prominent images, the statue of Christ, the Redeemer, in Rio de Janeiro. Standing tall on the top of Corcovado, between the clouds and the mountains, the statue's arms spread out not only as if embracing the entire city, but also opening the hearts of those who look up. When you stand at the foot of the statue, the wind blowing through the vast concrete flap, you will feel something so quiet, a sense of peace in the midst of greatness. From there, Rio appears majestic. The deep blue sea, the vast Tijuca forest, the Copacabana beaches sparkling in the sun, and every beat of life below like a never-ending choir. But in that moment, all sounds seem to stop, leaving only the invisible connection between you and the city expanding beneath your feet, between people and the sacredness that the statue of Christ represents: kindness, tolerance, and undying faith. From the top of Corcovado, where the statue of Christ the Redeemer stretches its arms in the sacred light, the view sweeps you east, where a giant rock rises straight up from the heart of Guanabara Bay, Sugarloaf Mountain. This majestic granite block is not only a geological wonder, but also a powerful visual symbol of Rio, like a proud exclamation mark between the sky and the sea. The cable car takes you suspended in the air. Each meter of elevation is a throbbing heartbeat. Below you is the deep blue sea, the green Tijuca forest, and the city like a soft silk ribbon across the hillsides. When reaching the top, the wind blows gently. The late afternoon sunlight dyes each roof, each wave, and Rio seems to turn into a calm, brilliant picture, unreal but still so close. Sugarloaf does not scream its beauty. It stands there, steady and confident, as if to say, Rio lives not only by joy, but also by a beauty that makes the heart suddenly stop in amazement. From the majestic peak of Sugarloaf, where Rio appears like a dream of light and perfect curves, your eyes cannot help but be drawn to the shimmering golden sand stretching in a crescent shape along the Atlantic Ocean, that is Copacabana Beach. This place is not only the most famous beach in Brazil, but also an outdoor stage of life, where every step, every wave, every laugh is a part of the bustling music of the city. As you step onto the distinctive black and white cobblestones of the beachfront boulevard, your senses awaken. The smell of salt mixed with the scent of coconuts, the thumping of volleyballs mixed with the samba music from the street stalls, and the unmistakable smiles of Rio's people. Copacabana is not just a place to sunbathe, it's a place to live, to live, to live fully. At sunset, when the sky is orange and the distant mountains are darkened, Copacabana still shines, because the greatest light here comes not from the sun, but from the rhythm of life that never stops.